Okay, so ahead you can see water across the road. As you can see, it's quite windy. We've just had really lots of rain, and also you can see there's leaves blowing around. So what's happening, the leaves are coming off the trees, getting blocked in the drains, and therefore you get floods like this. So what I'm looking to do is go through the middle, because that's the highest ground. Can you see there's not as much water there because of the camber of the road where the water runs off? So I'm going to go through the middle, but being very aware of someone coming flying around that corner. So I'm going to have to get myself over when I can. I know the middle is the least deep part of the road, and I don't know how deep the sides are, so I've got to be very careful. I really wasn't sure if I could stop and actually get out and test the water by throwing a stone in a stick, or even possibly walking through to make sure that it's safe. But if it's a river, I wouldn't walk through because I'll get washed away. So let's see if we can find any more big puddles. We've got a puddle here, so I'm going left, so I'm just going to go round it, but be mindful of people coming towards me, anyone overtaking, come around the corners. Again, I can't be quite sure how deep it is. I can look at the side of the road and see if it's going over the curb. That gives me some idea, but I don't know how deep the curb is, but it gives me a rough guide. The deeper it is, the slower I go, and more than about 6 inches or 15 centimetres, I wouldn't go for it, because it can make the car stop, and if it was a swollen river, a ford, it could wash it away, believe it or not, even with that amount of water. So as I go down the hill here, I've got a little river running down the hill, so I'm going to try and stay out of that. Obviously I might have cars coming towards me, so I'll go back in if I need to. Sometimes these rivers change direction and go across the road as well, so I've got to be careful of that. Here comes one now across the road, because it's all to do with the way the road slopes. See all these leaves on the road as well? At the bottom, that's where the water's going to congregate. I can see it's not very deep, so I can still see the 30 sign on the road, so I'm okay just to go through gently. So all these leaves are going to make the road very slippy as well. We've got another river on the left there, you know, stream coming down the hill, so I'm just going to be cautious of that. So I've got more water in the road here, so I'm just going to ease down, cover the brake but not apply it. I don't apply in the way unless I can help it, and then I go through gently. You can see the water on the left, so I'm just going to stay out of it. I can now see what looks like to me a reasonable sized puddle on the left there, so I'm going to try and avoid it if I can. I pop a signal, so there's a vehicle behind, I just want to warn him of it. I'm going to go round it. If you can go round, you should go round. You've got to make sure it's safe by checking behind you. The reason I signal is he wouldn't see the puddle because it's not very high. If it was that high, then it would be a problem. So I'm just warning him I'm going round, and then up to him what decision he makes or she makes. Here we go, so we'll slow right down. There's a car there, so I'm actually just going to wait here because I can see it's going over the curb, which means it's at least 3 or 4 inches deep, so I'm going to go round. So I can see the water over the curb, and you can see how high a curb is. It's about 3 or 4 inches, 10 centimetres, something like that, and the water was over that curb. Therefore I know the water's at least that deep, so if I can go round it I will do. I have to go through it, the deeper the slower. As I say, any more than 15 centimetres I wouldn't go through it personally, not in this vehicle. It depends on your vehicle, and it would depend whether it's a swollen stream or not, because they're a lot more powerful than a puddle. There's a lot to take into account. So I've got another puddle on the right. That means a car might come round, and that's right over the curb as well. So a car might try and avoid that and come on my side of the road, so that's relevant to me as well. Big puddles on the sides here, but they're on the sides, so that's fine. You can see the road here is slightly raised above the surrounding fields, so therefore you're unlikely to get puddles, but it doesn't mean you won't. So you can see here there's good water on the left there. So I'm going to come over slightly. It doesn't look very deep. I can still see the white line, therefore it can't be that deep, I don't think. You can never be sure, so if you can avoid, you should avoid. And also if the puddle's on the left and you go through just with your left tyres, it's going to pull you to the left because it's going to be more friction and no water on your right. So you're going to get a little pull on the car as well, so you're better off avoiding if you can. There's a little river on the left, so I'm keeping out of it. Lots of horses on the right drinking the water, so that's cool. Just keep an eye on that. So we can see the flood starting to appear now, see all the water on the left and the right. But the road's slightly elevated here, so that's not really a problem to me. This is where the flood's going to be, so we'll see what Matey Boy behind us. So we can see people ignoring the warning signs and stuff. Now you can see what we mean. there's an ambulance also up there trying to get round. You probably can't see that just in the video. There's lots of cars turning round.